Hi creative friends, welcome back for another week with the Doodle Nurse. Today we are going to create 15 different patterns. And at the end of this video, you are going to create a doodle scene filled with those 15 patterns. So grab your pen and come join me. I'd like to take the time to ask you to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell for notifications. Now I'm going to start off with these patterns, and as you can see I penciled everything in beforehand on my paper. You don't have to do that, but I just thought it would make this flow a little bit easier. And I created little ovals, and this first pattern is like a pipe with clamps on it, or whatever you want to call it. It's like half moons. It's like a half moon over the top of this pipe. And it's really simple to do. You just have to make sure that the pipe looks like it's going under it. So I'm speeding this up a little bit. If you find this hard to do, then just stop the video and practice it. Now this next oval, we're just going to do some lines with triangles in them, and then I'm just coloring every other one. Then I put 4 little lines through the blank spaces to fill it up. On this third oval, we're going to make something that looks like flowers, and they're just circles and half circles. So I make a circle and then I wrap around a half circle, and I do that all the way down, graduating them, making them larger each time. And then I get to the end and I create a stem. And so I speed this up. In the next circle, we're going to make spiral shapes, kind of like we did in the last video, just a little bit different. Not exactly what I have penciled in because I changed my mind. So you will see I don't always follow what I pencil in because my mind changes. And these spirals just look like they wrap behind each other. So I make a few extra lines to look like that fills the area. This next is just simple lines and circles. These are very easy to do, but if you have a hard time, make sure you stop the video. We're going to do a brick pattern here, and we're going to stagger the joints of the brick, kind of like you would see on a house. And then I'm going to fill in the background. This pattern looks like a flower, and then each row we're going to add another line and more petals, graduating as they get bigger as they go up the oval. In this next oval, we're going to do 4 lines one way and then 4 lines the opposite way, which you'll see. I'll slow it down in the beginning so you can see. You could do 3, 4, 5. It doesn't matter how many lines you do, you're just going to alternate them. So I do 4 lines diagonal this way and then 4 lines diagonal the other way. And we alternate that all the way down the oval. Kind of looks like, I guess, herringbone. I don't know if that's what it looks like. This one, wavy lines, and we're alternating our lines. Large circles in this oval and surround them by medium sized circles, which is going to look like a flower, an individual flower, and then just fill the remainder of the oval in with smaller circles. It doesn't really matter if they overlap. It doesn't matter how neat they are, but I know everybody can make circles. So I'd like to ask you again, if you like this video, please subscribe to this channel and hit the bell for notifications. As I try to adjust the paper so you can see, this reminds me of just teardrops or icing on the cake dripping down the sides of the cake. So I just make a shape that looks like icing falling down the side of a cupcake. And then I fill it in. And then we're going to do a cityscape. And that's just rectangles, triangles, whatever makes it look like a city to you. And you alternate them and put them behind each other, in front of each other, and just make it look pleasing to the way you like it. Remember, there's no wrong, there's no right. You just do whatever you want. Comment below and let me know if you're going to try this doodle scene. And you can submit your drawings over at elizabethsamson.com. And again, we're going to make 3 lines down, 4 lines down. We're going to alternate our pattern. First with horizontal, then vertical lines, then horizontal lines. And we're going to do that through all these columns that we created. And make them not the same all the way through, but now we're going to start with vertical, then do horizontal. As you can see, it's opposite the column before it. So on the next one, we're going to start with wavy lines, make a checkerboard, and alternate our pattern. And wavy lines on this one, and still alternate our pattern, just a little bit different. So that is our 15 patterns that we're now going to create a scene with. So now the scene we're going to create is flower scene. Very simple. We just laid out a bunch of different circles, and I'm going to go over them with the ink and put stems on them. Something very simple to do. And we're going to use all of the 15 patterns that we created in this scene. So as I speed this up, you'll see how I create these flowers. Okay, and then I'm going to start filling them in, alternating the patterns, showing you which one it is. And you could do whatever you want with this. It doesn't have to be flowers. It could be just put all the different patterns on one sheet of paper, and you'll have a decorative scene. I made these in flowers just to show you that you can do different patterns within a flower. And these remind me of like dandelions. And then I'm going to put some patterns in some clouds. So I've made 2 clouds. I'm going to add 1 more in and put the other pattern in there. And I realize we're putting those other flowers in the bottom, but I realize we're out. We're going to put that pattern in on looking like the grass. That's one of the patterns. And then there's 2 more patterns that we need to fill in here. As I look at my sheet, I notice that we've only filled in 13 patterns. So we have 2 more that we need to create. So as I look for which ones they are, I will put them in, I think, 2 more flowers on the bottom. I'll fit in 2 more flowers. So it's that pattern and that one. So we'll add in 2 more flowers where I can find this space, and we'll add those 2 patterns in. And this time the stems are going to go down on top of the grass and not in front of it. So that does add interest when you alternate your lines coming down. Remember, if you have a hard time with this, just stop the video and practice it. So now what I'm going to do is there's all our patterns and they're all in here. And what we're going to do is we're going to outline everything. So as I go through and I outline each individual flower, you'll see where they run into each other and I connect them. I will slow it down so you can see. Right here, you'll see I couldn't get in between this flower. It was blocked off. So I just made an outline in that area. There. And then we continue on. Same thing with these flowers. You have to go inside the flowers because they're all connected at the top. And this just adds interest to the page, and it also gives you another space to put more detail. So if I wanted to fill the background with vertical or horizontal lines or another pattern, I can do that and the flowers will still stand out. So I go in and I outline the clouds. So if I wanted to put lines behind it, I could do that and add to this decorative scene. So comment below and let me know if you're going to try this and create your own little scene. And if you are, I would love it if you would share this with me. So you can always go over to my website, elizabethsampson.com, and drop me a picture of what you've created. And I will put it up on my website on the Healing Wall of Doodles. Thank you guys for stopping in again, and I hope you enjoyed this tutorial on how to create your doodle art flowers or scene with all these different patterns that we showed you today. So thank you for stopping by.